joy in every row. Come on down, we'll show you how what's fresh and green is growing now. At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows. Tomatoes ripe, peppers bright, tips for keeping blooms in sight. Let's make your backyard glow. Tools and plants, advice for free. Bob's is where you want to be. At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Bob's Live, our weekly show right here on the internet. And, well, you might notice I forgot to fall back. It's 2 p.m. And something that I'm going to do, I tried to move Bob's Live kind of back to 1 p.m. To kind of give me a little bit more time after. But what I'm finding is it's taking me quite a bit of time because I have to build the live episode and get it all ready to go kind of right beforehand. So I'm going to move it to 2 p.m. I think that's just going to work better in the long run. So yeah, we switched days from Tuesdays to Thursdays, and then we switched time initially from 5 p.m. to 1 p.m. I'm going to bump it back to 2. So you'll see that kind of update and trickle out later on. Of course, I've got to update the intro video and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, you might see 1 p.m. here or there from here on out every now and then. You might even still see 5 p.m. in some places. But as I catch them, I'll update it. That being said, today, I thought we would head out to the greenhouse and check on this year's poinsettia crop. So the last time we saw it was about a month ago. And I think you'll be really interested in seeing the change and the difference that 1 month makes. So yeah, literally, I checked, the last videos were shot on October 6th. It's now November 6th, so exactly 1 month later. So let's head on up to the greenhouse and check out this year's poinsettias.
Hi, today I am here at our Uptown greenhouse where we are growing this year's poinsettia crop. And as you can see behind me, a lot has changed since the last time we were up here. When we were up here about a month ago, the poinsettias were just starting to change color. And now you can see the Red Sea. When we were up here last, the bracts were just starting to turn red. And now you can see where those upper leaves that we think of as being the bloom have turned red. If we zoom in really closely, right there are the little buds on the poinsettias. So they do have blooms, and you can see my finger there for scale. They are just teeny tiny little blossoms. And this might give you a little better idea of the color change. So we can see here the nice green leaves. We've got some here with a little bit of red pigment, but these new leaves that are coming in are completely red. And if we go into the center right there, you can see the little buds forming in the middle. So as I've said in the past, the color change is day length dependent.
as the days get shorter and we have less sunlight, that's what tells a poinsettia that it needs to change color and start producing red pigment, or no pigment in the case of these white poinsettias. And wow, that sun is bright. Oh, there we go. Now I can see. Believe it or not, we already have some poinsettias that are shipping out. So this section right here was completely full of poinsettias, and they have shipped south to the Carolinas. So poinsettia season is right almost here. And pretty soon, once we get closer to Thanksgiving, we'll start seeing poinsettias popping up in our stores, and also heading up to our Pittsburgh wholesale location. And that's a quick update on this year's poinsettia crop, and a little bit about the science behind poinsettias changing color. And until next time, keep growing. So that's a quick update on the poinsettias. And yeah, the color change between last month and now is pretty dramatic. And we still have a few more weeks for some of those, like the dark green ones that I showed you, or the dark red is what they'll be. They're still kind of developing their bracts. So they are going to be absolutely gorgeous, and we try to time it so they are ready right at the exact moment that it's time to ship them out. So it takes a lot of backwards planning all the way back to June, when we originally stuck them as little tiny unrooted cuttings. Up next, I thought we would take a look at the weather forecast, because we are in for a heck of a change this weekend. Let me pull up the weather here. Right now it's 56 out. It actually feels pretty nice. In fact, it says there on the screen that it feels like 70 out. So yeah, in the sunshine, it feels nice and warm. If you get in the shade and the wind's hitting you, it's a little bit breezy out today. Not like yesterday. Those were some crazy winds last night. I had to fix some of my fall decorations this morning. They're blowing over. But yeah, it is nice and warm out today. However, going into this weekend and early next week, we're going to see a change. So tomorrow we're looking at rain and temperatures in the 60s with a low of 45. Then we're going to be back to sunny on Saturday with a low of 44. Then we start getting into the cold on Sunday. So Sunday we're going to see some rain showers. The low is going to be 31, high 51. And then this is what we need to watch out for. On Monday, we're looking at a high of 36, a low of 25. And yeah, if you can see that there on the screen, that is some rain mixed with snow. So we might be seeing the first flakes of the season. And then heading later into next week, we're going to start warming back up. But again, we're going to be warming up to around 60. So yeah, if you haven't yet, you need to make sure that like your outdoor garden hoses are emptied out. You've emptied out any water features, anything like that. And, kind of prepare any water containing systems for freezing weather. Frozen pipes this time of year always become an issue. And usually we don't find them until they start leaking. So make sure that you check on that. And, also, we've started a new month. So November, if you listen to our podcast, the Keep Growing podcast, this last Saturday We had November's episode go live on the 1st, and it covers all of the gardening tasks for November. So I kind of hit the high spots and the key tasks to look out for that kind of follows along with Uncle Jim's Almanac. So you can check that out. And here, not this week, but next week, I believe. Yeah, next week, we'll be having our next episode of the podcast, and we're going to be kind of digging into what you need to do to prepare garden beds and flower beds for wintertime. So things like cutting mums back and mulching and getting rid of weeds, composting, burning brush piles, all of those things that you can do now to help prepare you for springtime. So that's what we're going to be covering in the next episode of the Keep Growing podcast, which will be out not this coming Saturday, but the next Saturday. And, well, that is all that I have for this week's episode of Bob's Live. And, of course, until next time, keep growing.
Got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season